Hey guys, welcome back to this Jquery Mobile video. In this video we're going to be talking about, or we're going to be going over the more advanced inputs in the Jquery Mobile form section of this series. And in the previous video we went over like the basic inputs, like the text inputs, number inputs, date inputs, and we went over the text area, and we went over the submit button. And in this video we're going to be going over drop down and range scaler, and we might go over check boxes and control groups, but we may not use check boxes and control groups for the actual form handling data processing, but we're gonna use the range scaler, and we're gonna use the radio buttons, or radio buttons and drop downs, or I guess we'll just go with the drop down and a range scaler too for form handling. So let's get started. So first, what we want to do is we want to head over to our code editor. So see here, this is what we worked on yesterday, this contact me page. So under date of birth, we're gonna set up like a questionnaire type of section. So we'll ask like, what's your favorite sport, what's your favorite number, things like that. So first, let's start off with the range scaler, so range slider, sorry. So in order to do that, we want to define it. So there's a input for that. So what we'll first do is we'll define a label for fav underscore number, and call it what's your favorite number. And then now we define our input. So we'll do input type equals range. We'll give it a name of this fav underscore number. We'll give it the same type of ID. And to start off, my favorite number is 15, so I'll give it a value of 15 to start off with. You can give it a minimum of 0 and a maximum of, I'll just put 500. So let's just see how that is. See here, it goes all the way up to 500. And it's a really cool tool that I like and find really useful. So let's actually reduce this maximum to 100 and start off like there. And then for a user, I'll just give it a value of 0 just to start off with, and you can just type in your favorite number and I'll automatically set it there like that. Alright, so next let's go and let's do a drop down. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll do a drop down here. So under this, we'll define a drop down. So label for, let's say, fav underscore food. So what's your favorite food? Here we can, since it's a drop down, we have to define a select. So select is an HTML element. This is select. Name, we'll give it a name of fab_food, and we'll give it the same ID. Oh. Fab_food. So here we're gonna define our options. Just to organize the code a bit, let's do an indent. So we're gonna have, I'm gonna I'll put 5 options here for the user. The first one will be pizza, the second will be burger, burrito, pasta, then noodles. Alright, so now since we want to do some data processing, in order for you to, for the like PHP or one of those backend languages to understand what you're passing through, we need to give this a value. Because if we didn't give this a value and you just selected something, it would just give it as a blank option. So for what's your favorite food, when it's looking for fab_food, it's just gonna get a blank value. So you want to give it a value, and so the value should be the same as what you put here. At least that's what we're gonna do. It might be a little different for, it depends on what the drop down is. So always remember to give it a value, or else it will be blank when you're doing the data processing. So here you have pizza, burger, burrito, pasta, noodles. So pretty cool. Here what you can do is you can set this to, let's say pasta, you can set it to selected, and then you see pasta will be the selected one. Similarly, for your favorite one, you could just put the side selected, and that's what will happen. Alright, for our last one, for this one, I guess let's do a checkbox. Alright, and I guess we could use a checkbox for form handling, I guess. So let's just give it a try. So we have to define a field set data rule with control group, and field set is a HTML element for checkboxes. And let's give it a legend. So legend is basically a label for the whole checkbox control group. So let's give it a, what's your favorite, no, not favorite food, what's your favorite sport? Now we have to define our checkboxes. So for each checkbox we're going to define the actual checkbox, and then we're going to give it a label. So we're going to define it first and then give a label, so it'll be in a proper format, not have like the label and then a checkbox, which will kind of look weird for the user. So let's start off by doing an input type of checkbox, and we'll give this a name of football. also give it an idea of football. Alright, and so do label for football, and let's do football. So that's how it'll look. User just presses on it. So now let's give a few more options for the user. Do baseball. Baseball, and then soccer. And then lastly, we'll do hockey. Or, yeah, let's do hockey. Message. Alright, so here we have defined all of the different types of sports here that we're gonna offer for the user to check in, and then see how it is. So we see here a pretty stylish looking checkbox. I really like how it looks. So this is it for our form, for contact me form, which is basically, these are a lot of the inputs that Jquery Mobile has to offer. There are a lot more inputs and styles which you can work on, and I can give a few links to a few of the Jquery Mobile docs, so if you want to play around a little more, you can just go to that and they'll give you code, so it'll be very useful and very fun. So in the next video we're actually gonna be testing our app, so that's like the fun part. So we're gonna test it on any Android device you want, so which is gonna be really cool. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe.